Hi, I didn't see you there. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do any of that corny stuff. But I am making this video because I wanted to let you know that I miss all of you guys. Like, honestly, this online schooling at the beginning was like, okay. And now I would literally give anything to be back in a classroom with all of you. Maybe you're like me in that. Maybe you're doing okay with the online schooling. But either way, I do miss you guys. I miss your faces. I miss talking to you. I miss hanging out. And right now, these are the only people I have to hang out with. I guess they're not people. Blue, 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 blue. Okay, they're passed out. And Brooke's not supposed to be on that couch. But those are the only people I have to talk to right now. So, anyways, I am making this video because on this Thursday, you guys have a assignment where you can either turn in a response, you can either write something, which is totally fine, or I said if you want to make a 45-second to a minute video, because I miss your faces, and if you feel like that's easier, you could do that too. So I never want you guys to do something that I wouldn't do myself, and so here I am making a video, and there are just a few things I wanted to talk about with the end of Mice and Men anyways. So that's the first thing. If you are watching this and you have not finished this book, turn it off, finish the book, come back, and we can discuss it after you've read it, okay? So everyone left here now should be done with this book. Okay, the questions that I wanted to have you respond to, they're on the Schoology thing, so you can look at those. But I just want to discuss a little bit because the ending of this book is hard. It's terrible and it's sad and it's shocking. And so I never want you guys to read something like this, especially right now you're reading it alone at home, and just be like thinking about it and not have an outlet to talk about it or to hear someone talk about it. So for me, the ending of this book is even a little bit more sad than Gatsby, just because Gatsby is so, like, it's fury and everyone's mad and you kind of see it coming in a way because there's been so much death and craziness already, whereas this one's hard because obviously George ends up killing the person he knows the best in his life. They've traveled together. They're like cousins, brothers, right? And so it's just really harsh. And so one of the questions is, what was your reaction to the end of the novel? The first time I read it, my reaction was obviously shock, but also I was just sad, right? Throughout this novel, I was a little bit sad. There's a lot of foreshadowing that kind of leads you to this, right? Now that we look back on that, the death of Candy's dog. They put his dog down because it's too old. Sorry, girls. Don't listen to this part. And then there's when Lenny accidentally kills the puppy, the death of the puppy, and then he accidentally kills Curly's wife, and then lastly he is the last one to die, right? And so there's a lot of death, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of like moments, but I was still pretty shocked because I don't think anyone can really prepare for something like that to come. The next question is, do you think that George did what he had to do, or do you think he had other options? I'm going to kind of let you mull around this one. I don't want to take too many of your answers, but it's important to kind of think about a lot of different things with this question. The first thing it's important to think about is, obviously some people are going to say, okay, George did the right thing. He went in there and he knew that Curly's guys were coming and were going to kill Lenny eventually, in maybe a worse way and maybe a little bit more torturous way. And so George decides if someone's gonna do it, he's gonna be the one to do it in kind of a humane way, right? And this goes back to the killing of Candy's dog even, right? Candy kind of was mad at himself because he's like, I should have been the one to do that. That was my dog. And so that's kind of how George feels at the end here, is that it's the only way out for Lenny. And so it's really easy to say, yep, he did what he had to do, but then you get into this weird area of, when is it ever okay to kill someone, right? Like the 10 Commandments, you're not supposed to kill anyone. And so I don't want you just to write a response or a video response where you're like, yeah, he did the right thing. He had to kill someone. What? It's no big deal, right? That kind of has us tread into some sketchy territory. Even thinking about, like, there's things today, debates about things like euthanasia and things like that, right? When people are too old, is it okay if they don't have the same quality of life to kill them, right? And so it's kind of this idea of mercy killing, which is just kind of a gross topic to talk about. And so keeping those in mind as you kind of decide, did George do the right thing? Did he do what he had to do? What do you think about that? And then the last two questions, at what point do you think George knew he had to do this, and how will it change the rest of his life? Even before he heads off to go find Lenny, right? Slim and Candy are talking to him about the situation, and Candy says, hey, we can still have our dream, right? We can still do this. And George's response is kind of like, no, I should have known this was never going to happen. I got my hopes up too much. And so that, obviously, we talk a lot about the American dream, is going to connect a lot to that too, right? Was the American dream, was this dream ever really even attainable for George and Lenny? With George and Lenny and the situation they were in, right? Working to try and make all this money. It's in the Depression, it's in the Dust Bowl, but also we have Lenny with some pretty serious developmental delays, right? Was it ever going to happen for him? Would he ever have been able to lead a semi-normal life, right? And so asking yourself kind of all those questions, for sure. So this video was way longer than I expected it to be. If you watched it all, then kudos to you, because I know you guys have a lot of assignments and stuff like that coming in, but maybe it was just like a moment of home and just your normal routine to at least hear my voice, or maybe it's making you cringe and have PTSD. I don't know. But anyways, I miss you guys. I've been praying for all of you, and I hope that your days have been okay. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, school related or not. I'm here for you. And once again, the dogs. Blue, look at me. Blue, 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 blue. You say hi to my students? She is so tired. She is so tired. Brooks, you say hi to my students? Okay, bye.